Hello, everyone. My name is Ruohan Alicia Tian. I am an MFA candidate in Interdisciplinary Art, Media, and Design at OCAD University in Toronto, and I also work as a teaching assistant and mentor for students engaged in experiential learning. Today, I am pleased to share a vision for how we can support intentional, skill-focused course selection for art and design students, and how this vision connects to broader conversations about career development in post-secondary education. Across Canada, post-secondary education is under increasing pressure to demonstrate clear skill outcomes rather than relying solely on degree titles. Employers are placing greater emphasis on demonstrable competencies, micro-credentials are expanding rapidly, and students are facing rising debt alongside growing uncertainty about career pathways. For art and design students, this shift presents a particular challenge. Studio courses often develop rich, transferable skills such as visual communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and adaptability. Yet these skills are rarely made explicit or systematically documented. As a result, students may struggle to make intentional, skill-aligned course selections that support their long-term career goals. When I talk with students about how they choose their courses, I notice a consistent pattern. Many students make decisions based on personal interest, faculty reputation, or the aesthetic appeal of a project. While these reasons are understandable, they do not always reflect a clear understanding of the specific skills a course develops or how those skills connect to careers across creative industries and beyond. This situation leads to several important gaps in students' educational experiences. First, there is limited transparency about skill outcomes in studio courses. Second, learning records are often fragmented and do not capture experiential learning or informal competencies. Third, students find it difficult to translate their creative learning into language that is relevant to employers. Finally, guidance varies widely across programs and institutions, leaving many students without a cohesive roadmap for connecting their academic work to professional opportunities. How can skill-focused course selection be better supported for art and design students within Canadian universities? To explore this question, I examine how a national, skill-based career infrastructure might support students. Specifically, I consider how such an infrastructure could make course-level skill development visible, support intentional academic decision-making, and bridge studio learning with evolving labor market expectations. This research is grounded in three intersecting trends that are shaping education and work today. The first trend is the rise of skills-first hiring, where employers increasingly value demonstrable skills over formal credentials. The second trend is the growth of micro-credentials, which highlights the importance of clearly defined competencies, even as questions about credibility and consistency remain. The third trend is the reality of experiential learning in art and design, where studio projects, field placements, and portfolio development already cultivate career-ready skills that are rarely systematized or made explicit. Together, these trends point to a growing need for structures that connect what students learn with how they apply those skills in the world. To address this need, this project proposes an open-access national career development platform. This platform would serve as a space where learners can maintain a living digital record of their skills, spanning formal courses, studio projects, workshops, placements, and micro-credentials. The key features of this platform would include a living digital skills record for each learner, course-level skill mapping that includes both studio and experiential courses, verified competencies described in language that aligns with industry expectations, and seamless integration across formal academic work, extracurricular learning, and professional experiences. This infrastructure would not replace traditional transcripts, but it would complement them by making the learning that matters both visible and actionable for students and employers. For art and design students, such a platform could transform the way they approach both their education and their careers. It could help make studio skills visible by explicitly identifying competencies such as visual storytelling, material experimentation, and critique literacy. It could support intentional course selection based on desired competencies rather than guesswork. It could help students articulate the value of their creative learning to employers. It could also connect interdisciplinary skills such as design, research, facilitation, and systems thinking to opportunities in both creative and non-traditional career paths. Most importantly, it could reduce students' reliance on informal or unequal access to career knowledge, helping to make learning outcomes more equitable and transparent for all students. This project also argues that a new platform alone is not enough. We also need a career-relevant language system built into school course catalogs and curriculum documentation. Without both elements, students may have a digital record of their learning but still lack the vocabulary and structure to connect that learning to real-world career expectations. Imagine a student studying illustration who hopes to work in medical visualization, where accurate anatomical visuals are essential. Even if their courses, such as observational illustration, include competencies like anatomical observation, traditional syllabi still list only general outcomes, making it difficult to connect their training to industry needs like scientific visualization or visual data communication. Under this project's model, each course and workshop would be described and tagged with career-aligned competencies that mirror the language used by employers. Students could then compare these documented competencies with industry job descriptions, identify gaps, and intentionally choose electives or supplemental learning to build specific skills. When presenting a portfolio or digital profile, they could clearly show verified, industry-relevant skills, making their training both visible and meaningful to prospective employers. Career development professionals play a critical role in translating skills into opportunities within this model. Within a skill-based platform, career development professionals could guide students in selecting courses based on skill progression, support reflective skill articulation during placements, identify gaps between academic learning and career goals, and advocate for equity and quality across programs and credentials. In this way, career development becomes a longitudinal and meaningful process rather than a one-time service. Equity and accessibility considerations. A transparent, skill-based system has particular benefits for first-generation and international students, students who are navigating interdisciplinary or nonlinear careers, and learners who lack access to informal industry networks. By making learning outcomes visible, such a platform would support fairer access to career knowledge and reduce students' reliance on hidden curricula. As an MFA student, teaching assistant, and mentor, I work closely with undergraduates who are navigating experiential learning and field placements. I have seen firsthand how students benefit when they understand what skills they are developing and why those skills matter. This research reflects my commitment to bridging creative practice, education, and career development, and to designing systems that value adaptability, reflection, and lifelong learning, which I see as core strengths of art and design education. To conclude, art and design programs already develop valuable, transferable skills, but these skills are often under-articulated. Students need clearer tools to align their course selection with their career goals. A skill-focused infrastructure can strengthen equity, transparency, and trust, and career development must extend beyond graduation into lifelong learning. Thank you for listening. I look forward to discussing this work with anyone who is interested in experiential learning, curriculum design, or national career initiatives.